I don't know what all this trouble is about, but I'm sure it must be your...
Hello. So I had a request to check out Luminosity. Luminosity Skyrim is Lit Edition Cathedral concept, and this is from this mod author. I'm just going to call him Tahuva because it's like Tahuva Vaho or Vahu, and it's too much for me. So this mod author, though, does a very good job. I like a lot of the Cathedral stuff, as you know, and this turns out to be no exception. This is an interior lighting mod, which is actually great because it really pairs well with that weather mod I'm using. I just did a show on that. Now, this was a request, and I am extremely sorry. Here again, I did not write down who this was from, and so that is my fault. But nonetheless, the show is here finally, and I know it's taken some time, but I needed to try and test it out for a while. Mods like this, lighting mods, I can't always just sit down in a few minutes and say, oh yeah, that's wonderful, it looks great. Because I don't have, or I don't know how to do these. Like, I can't do these easy comparisons between, oh, this is what it looked like before and this is what it looks like now. Yeah, I can take a few screenshots and things, but a lot of times those don't really show the difference the way you see it in video. So now I have a hard time also showing you this in a show because that requires multiple resets and turning the mod off and on, etc., etc. But I do have a good way to show you this, because you only really need to see this one place, the Valmir Inn in Iverstead. And I can show you some other places too, but this is one place where you can really see, I think you can really see the difference in the lighting. If you look at the regular inn interior and you look at this version of the inn interior, I think you'll see a huge difference. So that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be a fairly simple comparison, and I'm going to take two pictures and we're going to look at those, and I think that will do it for us. Okay, I think that will show us what we need to see. And just remember that this is an interior lighting, and what they're doing is they're adding light, so you won't have like pitch black dungeons and things like that. So remember, this does affect that. They do use some inspiration from EOFX, but this is not compatible with EOFX. Okay, it is not. So let's read a little bit of this here so you'll understand. This mod recolors the vanilla lighting inspired by EOFX, but preserves the vanilla signposting or lighting strategy, and instead it adds more light to it. It doesn't take away any of the vanilla lighting. It doesn't, alter it too much. It does recolor it some, making it look a little better, and then they add other light, other sconces, other things that didn't produce light that should have. It adds the light from those things. So it gives you, they say it gives you good consistency, and everything is lit with the same contrast, brightness, and saturation. So all the image space, all the interior settings are the same. You may or may not like that, but if all of these have the same, lighting sources and everything, they should all be fairly consistent. Now, yeah, bigger areas are going to be slightly different than smaller areas, blah, blah, blah. But we're just saying, in general, the settings will be the same, so everything should be fairly consistent, all right? They also do mention that if you use Cathedral weathers, you can adjust your interior brightness to your liking. And you can. I've used Cathedral weathers, and I've done a show on it, and it's good. So, but this is its own thing, very standalone. I like it. It's a very small mod. Let's see, it's a little over 518 kilobytes. Again, very small. Not compatible with other interior lighting mods. It does similar things to relighting Skyrim, so it's not compatible with that or EOFX. Now it says you may use ELE, and I'm not sure what that is, if you prefer its lighting palette while retaining the bulb changes of this mod. Place ELE below this mod. I'm not sure what ELE is. Is that some sort of other lighting? It must be. I don't know what that stands for, ELE, right now. I can't think of it. Maybe it's some other enhanced lighting, but I don't know what it is. So, okay, so I can't talk about that. Alright. So, that is what Luminosity proposes to do, and that's, from what I see, that is what it does. I'm going to show you just a few interiors, and then I'm going to leave it really basically to you. I'm going to do this one comparison, though, in the Iverstead Inn. So I will see you in the inn in just a moment. Alright, so I had doubted that we would be able to see a lot of difference, but I think now, after loading back into this, we do see a considerable difference in the brightness of the area. I don't know if you can tell it. I hope it shows on the video as well as I can see it here. There's quite a bit of difference. Let me show you my picture that I took. Maybe that will help show a contrast. What are you doing? Oh, I meant to show, hold on a second. I'm going to show you this one. Now I'm going to show you this full screen, so give it a moment. Well, if it will load. It is a 4K picture, so it takes a moment. There we go. Now this is what it looked like before. This is pretty well lit. I mean, it's pretty bright. You know, for Skyrim, this is a little brighter than I think some inns are. But it's not as bright as what we're seeing right now. So take a moment and let this sink in. And just kind of see the shadows and how some of it's dark. And then look at this. This is considerably brighter, considerably better. Well, better if you want brighter. You know, it's considerably brighter. So don't be surprised by that. I'll be right back.
Yes, my master.
I'm right behind you.
Okay, so as I was saying, you can see definitely the brightness difference, how bright it is in the room. Even the corner over there is much brighter than it was previously. And you can just tell a difference. They've added light. They've brightened up the interior here very nicely. It looks really good unless you don't like brighter interiors. So, I mean, it's going to be subjective in that sense. But in the sense that they were attempting to do this, they accomplished what they were attempting. Even these little rooms look brighter than normal. So,
still here.
And they each have a light source so that it looks realistic or makes sense. They don't have it like magically lit. It's, you know, you have these sconces here with actual light and flames coming from them. So all the tables have lights. So they've tried to make it so that it, you know, still makes sense, but there's more light sources. So now we're going to go, let's see. I think this was probably the best place to show this, but we're going to go maybe, what's another dark inn? Usually the one in Winterhold is pretty dark. Let's go check that one out. I will meet you there. Alright, so this is the Frozen Hearth in Winterhold, and it too is well lit. I don't think you'll have any trouble seeing everything here. Plenty of brightness. Lots of extra light sources. These people are fussing all the time. Let's just ignore them. The rooms are well lit. Okay. So everything looks good like it should. Is there a basement here? Let's go look in their basement. Let's see if there's anything down here. It'll be interesting. There may not be anything. This should be a very fast little load. There we go. Oh, and it is well lit as well. Or it is plenty lit as well. Well, anyway, there's lots of light. And lots of light sources for Marcia to chase me down. Alright. Well, Marcia, you are scaring me. Anyway, so there we go. It is very well lit. Just like it should be. With this mod. Now, this mod is accomplishing what it has set out to do. Okay, it is lighting. It is lighting the interiors up. It is giving you more light. Now, you probably cannot use this.
Just say the word if you need a drink or something to eat.
You probably can't use this with any end modification because you'll notice they've added all these extra lights, and if you had something that modified ends, it would probably crash like crazy all the time. Just mentioning that in case anybody gets the idea to try that. I've used some end modifiers before that I thought were fun, but you probably couldn't use them with this. Alright, so let's see. One other place I want to go is the Bannered Mare, because it's always very shady and, you know, it's got dark corners and stuff. So let's go there and see what that looks like. And then basically I think we'll be done. So I will meet you there. Oh.
Take a seat by the fire.
Alright, so we're in the Bannered Mare. Now you'll notice that there's still some shading, but you'll also notice it's not nearly as dark as normal. You've got the little candles everywhere. Now I have a mod that's making those candles black, so don't worry about that. But you'll see the light sources. Look up on the shelves. Just looking around.
Yes.
Look back there in that room. Not at her. For a minute she scared me. Okay, let's go back here. If you look back here, look at the light sources. They added some candles back here. And then too, they've made the fires brighter so that the fires add more light. You can see that in here. This fire is really bright. It adds a lot of light to the room.
I enjoy this work
Added
well
some
enough,
candles
but
back
I'm
there.
ready to retire. I've been thinking of selling the Intui Solda. Anyway, what do you need?
And I'm not sure, that chandelier is probably always there, but it seems brighter. And this looks a lot more well lit. Or maybe that chandelier is not there. Maybe this is usually a dark corner. Yeah, it could be. Let's see if they added anything in here. I don't really see anything in here. But this is well lit from the fire anyway. Let's go upstairs. That might be new, those candles there. There's some candles over there. Nothing out here, but you're well lit from that fire down below, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, you get the idea. Luminosity just lights things up. They added some light sources. They brightened the light sources that are here. And really did a good job. So it looks nice. It looks like they accomplished exactly what they were trying to do. Again, if you don't like the extra light, you would probably want to avoid this mod, because it wouldn't go with like having darker nights and things. And it is going to affect the it's going to affect the interiors of caves and tunnels and such. And oh my goodness, let's get out of here. We can't really even talk here. So I'll meet you outside. Oh. Okay, so anyway, out here, Luminosity is not doing anything out here. This is my current weather mod. So let's go down here and check out Breeze Home. Hopefully Breeze Home will be a little quieter, and we can finish looking at this mod and the lighting. So let's hop in here.
Aye, sir.
Alright, so there's Lydia waiting for us. So she doesn't look happy, probably because I left her at home. Marcia, I'm tempted to leave you here too. You're kind of annoying. Anyway, you'll notice they added some light sources here. And a candle there. They've made this fire definitely brighter, so Breeze Home is more lit as well, and they added these candles. And if you look around, let's see, this room, Doesn't really have anything. It doesn't need anything. Oh my goodness. She just ran into me and knocked me away. Anyway, Lydia now has candles on her nightstand. There's some candles here. There's candles on that nightstand. They didn't touch our sweet roll, thank goodness. So, yeah. Overall, I would say they did what they set out to do. It looks good. Everything is lighter and brighter. And yet it looks fairly real because it has a light source that is associated with it. And the light source isn't too crazy. This fire, I don't know, it might be a few lumens too bright. When I look at that one, the others seemed good, but this one seems a little too bright, doesn't it? I think we should tone this down just a little bit. Maybe 10% might do it. Anyway, so let's take a look at the mod.
Fascinating.
Okay, this has been Luminosity Skyrim is Lit Edition. This is part of the Cathedral concept. Now they're adding light sources. It says it adds about 5,000 bulbs. So if you do things that change your interiors, now this is just an interior lighting mod. If you do things that change your interiors a lot, especially changing vanilla interiors, like the interior of inns or the interior of homes, like Breeze Home, then you may find some of these bulbs, some of these light sources, are not in the right place for your modded version, okay? Now, that's just a thought. I didn't see any of that, but you'll notice I didn't have anything modded. I didn't have Breeze Home modded, and I didn't have the Bannered Mare or the other inns modded. Pardon me. So, because I did not have those modded, we didn't see any issues. Now, I've not had any crashes with this mod, but just be aware, if you mod something that this mod is also modding, adding lights to, it could be an issue. Now, I found with EOFX that it wouldn't actually crash my game. It would just have odd effects, like maybe a light effect would be out of place for what should be there or what should have been there, because they make changes based on the vanilla game, not on whatever mod you happen to be using. So anyway, it's a very good mod. It accomplishes what they set out to do. They really brighten things up so your interiors are well lit and they look really nice, but they are not drastically different from the vanilla lighting in that they add some light sources. They do brighten it up, but they don't change the existing light sources very much. I think they add a little brightness, but they don't move those existing light sources around, and they don't change them drastically. They just kind of change the setting to up the brightness a little bit. So, and it says here that they use their own contrast, brightness, and saturation. So those three are the main things that affect your brightness. So there you go. So that's it. It's a small mod, a little over 518 kilobytes, not a lot to it. Just remember that it's not compatible with other interior lighting mods. They do mention that if you have ELE, I'm not sure what mod that is, but if you have that you should be able to use it if you place ELE below this mod. I don't know. I'm shrugging my shoulders. I'm waving my arms. I don't know. Because I don't have ELE. I don't even know what ELE is, but I will mention that again so that you're aware of it. I had no problems with this mod. It didn't cause me any crashes. So far, with the mods I'm using, I haven't really seen anything goofy. So, hopefully, you will not either. So, if you like this, give it a whirl. If you prefer your darker interiors, stay away from this mod, because you will not like it. I'm just telling you. Alright, so, thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later.
What's the matter? Getting tired?